Hello everybody, my name is Aya Duke and today I'm going to be giving my own fair take on 2018's Marvel's Spider-Man. This is just a quick disclaimer I'd like to remind you guys of. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe because I really put a lot of time and effort in this video, unlike the rest of the stuff I made back then. But anywho, with all that said, let's get right into the story of this game is quite a simple and easy to follow one, as it pretty much just revolves around Peter having to stop a new villain in the Spider-Man roster known as Mr. Negative, as he tries infecting the entirety of New York with some COVID-19 ripoff. We also get appearances from fan favorite Spider-Man villains such as Dr. Octopus, the Scorpion, Electro, and Shockwave. And if you consider J. Jonah Jameson a villain, that's up to you. But still, it was very cool seeing these guys reimagined and also properly implemented in their boss fights. With all that done and dusted, let's get into the real bread and butter of this game, which is its. Now, considering that this is a game about Spider-Man, the one thing you would obviously expect there to be in it is the web slinging. And I would just like to say that they really outdid themselves because if you didn't know, having to make a character go at top speed whilst also having the camera work properly and the game not freaking crashing the PS4 because of its limitations is quite a hard thing to do. And I love how they implemented it here because sure the gameplay shows me straight up bumping into walls, but if you actually play the game, it's very fun web slinging because half of the times I actually did come back to play the game, I did it all for the web slinging. Now, that to be said, the web slinging sometimes feels a bit dry considering the fact that the game lacks any actual music in it. And even if you do get music, it just feels like it was copy pasted from the Marvel Spider Man animated series. Now, in the beginning of the game, the combat is kind of not the best. I don't want to call it mid because calling the combat mid is kind of wrong. But at the beginning of the game, sure you're underpowered, but your punches just don't feel like they actually have any weight behind it. Mainly because sometimes the sound design just makes it feel like when you hit an enemy, you're straight up just hitting the air. Now, if you actually level up within the game, sure your punches can feel like they're actually doing something, but then once you level up in the game, enemies just go down in two hits. But in the beginning of the game, you're literally punching them till your fists bleed, and that's one thing I really did not enjoy about the combat. But even with that, I actually like the way they implemented Spider Man's equipment because it's really fun to use, even though it literally just stuns enemies. Now, there's a part of the gameplay that really would have made the game 10 times better if it were never included, and that is the MJ sections. Now, playing as Mary Jane Watson does absolutely nothing, as she's just there to be a stealth section. Now, the NPCs in this game aren't really the best in these stealth sections, considering the fact that you can literally just walk in between them as long as they slightly, slightly look in a different direction that you're walking. Now, to say that the MJ sections are fun is a lie, mainly because all you're doing as MJ is collecting some intel, and she pretty much just stands there, reads the intel, and expects me to care. I bought this game to swing around New York City, not sneak into rich people's houses. Now, to sum up this entire section of the video, all I have to say is that the gameplay is absolutely phenomenal and is what you would expect from a Spider-Man game, of course. The web slinging, absolutely perfect. The combat, it could definitely use some extra tweaking, but hey, this is a Spider-Man game, not a Dark Souls title. Even with that, I'm going to have to give the gameplay a solid 9 out of 10. Marvel Spider-Man is a very wonderfully crafted together game, but even the best of the titles can have their own issues, which is why I'm going to have to list out some of the pros and cons the series makes. Now, Marvel Spider-Man has many pros that if you ask any PS4 fan, they can easily tell you whether they played the game or not. And one of the many pros of Marvel Spider-Man is its story. Even though I explained it like it's literally just another bedtime story you can tell your kid, the character's acting is very believable and actually wonderful. Considering the fact that there are many heartfelt scenes in this game, it's also best noting that most of the characters in this game are actually enjoyable, likable, and even the NPCs you meet actually have some sort of character rather than just being mindless AI that walk around the city. Now, half of the cons I'm about to mention are glitches that I ran into quite commonly within my playthrough of the game. Now, I obviously expect these glitches to be ironed out in the remastered version, but yet again, it's literally the same game, but looks better and probably optimized better. And yeah, I don't really know why I included this section of the cons, but hey, if it pads out the video, it pads out the video. Now, if you've gone to buy Marvel Spider-Man or you've pre-ordered Marvel Spider-Man 2, then I highly suggest you leave a like on this video because sure I'm one of the many people that probably influenced you to try and buy the game. But one thing I know is that this video won't get pushed towards the algorithm heavily because I'm just another person making videos. But if you actually found yourself enjoying this kind of style I'm trying to form, it's probably not a good one. Then I highly suggest you leave a like and subscribe if you actually want to support me. And maybe next week I might drop another video if I have the time. But with all that said, I would see you guys later.